Hi everybody, and very welcome to Mentour, yet another video podcast. As always, I hope you're all doing fantastic out there. So today on the podcast, I am going to be tackling one of the most common questions that I get on my channel, okay? And that is, can a pilot have tattoos and can a pilot have beard? All right, so even though the answer to the latter question is quite obvious, I'm going to go through this and explain a little bit to you guys what the background is to the fact that there actually are some rules when it comes to your grooming and how you look in the airline industry, okay? So what you have to understand to start with, guys, is that being a pilot is a lot about retaining the respect of people around you, okay, and inspire confidence. And why am I saying that? Well, it's because there is actually a fairly big amount of people out there who are maybe not afraid of flying, but who are a bit nervous of flying. They are basically putting themselves inside of a metal tube, being hurled away at up to 800 and 900 kilometers per hour, 12 kilometers up in the air, by forces they don't really understand, okay? And in order for people to do that, they need to have confidence in the person who is actually making this happen. You know, they need to absolutely trust the pilot who is flying the aircraft. Now, with that comes certain things. Okay, this is one of the reasons why you have to maintain your uniform at a good standard, because people will judge you from what they see. Just like you do when you're walking down the street and you see someone who looks a particular way, you will judge that person on a split second like that. Okay, you have decided that yes, this person is probably a banker, that person is a gangbanger, that person is this and that. Okay, that might not be fair and it might not be correct, but it's the way that people are. Okay, we make split-second decisions. So the split-second decision that we want the passengers to have when they see us is that this is a person that I trust. This person looks the part. I feel safe with this person. Now, with this comes a lot of stereotypes, okay? And I have definitely been subject to these stereotypes before, especially by older people who are expecting a captain to look a specific way, mainly being grey haired and look like it's close to 60 years old, while I am closer to 30 years old. So that becomes not a problem, but it is an issue, okay? But there are certain things that you can control, and your grooming is one of those things. If we start by if you can have beard or not, facial hairs or not. The answer to that question is that it does depend on the airline. Some airlines might have stricter grooming rules than other airlines, but I would say that today most airlines would allow you to have a mustache or a beard, providing that you keep that maintained, groomed, okay? It has to look the part, it has to look like it's good. You know, you can't come looking like Captain Blackbeard because that's not what the passengers are expected to see. But if you're keeping it well groomed and well maintained, then it shouldn't be a problem, okay? But once again, there might be individual differences here between different airlines and between different countries, okay? So look into it. But of course, beard is not a huge problem. If it's not allowed, you just shave it off and that's it. So when it starts to become a problem is when you're looking at tattoos. Now, tattoos is something that quite a few of us do, especially when we're young. We get ourselves a tattoo, we don't think much about it. And then later on, when we're looking for a job, it becomes or can become an issue. That is also true when it comes to the airline industry, okay? There are companies out there who does not allow tattoos. However, I don't think that there are many, and I can't give you a specific example of it. I've just heard rumors of it. However, most airlines will think it's okay for you to have a tattoo, providing that you can cover it up by your uniform. Once again, this goes back to the fact that people associate tattoos with a certain type of lifestyle, and that's not even though once again it's not fair, it might not be representative of the same people that they want to fly their aircraft. Okay. So when it comes to tattoos, once again, I would like you to do a bit of research. Depending on which piece of the world you're in, you might check the rules of your local flag carrier or the local airlines that you want to join to see if there's any rules against tattoos before you do them. But I would definitely advise against tattoos that can be seen on top of normal clothing. So tattoos that's going up the throat, for example, the neck. Tattoos that's going out over your hands or far down your sleeves, or anywhere basically where they can't be covered up with a normal uniform shirt. I think personally that it's quite nice to be able to use a short sleeve shirt, which means that below, from here and down, might become a problem. Otherwise you would just have to use a full length shirt to your uniform. But I would definitely ask you to at least think before you get yourself a tattoo that can be seen, okay? Because it might form a problem for you. So that's basically all I have on that subject, guys. You can ask me questions. I don't have, my airline, for example, doesn't have any strict policies when it comes to this. However, your common sense is going to have to come into play here as well. Just keep in the back of your mind that, there's going to be old grandmas and grandfathers that's going to get onto your flights. They will have a very particular view of how a pilot should look. And the part of that look that you can control, which means your own grooming and things like tattoos, make sure that those are playing in your favor, basically. So I hope that makes sense. You can write in questions. There might be people on here on the channel that can answer those questions even better than I can. But for now, I hope that helps you. And as always, remember to subscribe. Remember to share this video with people that you think is going to enjoy it or have benefit of it. And I hope you have a fantastic day. See you next time.